Going through. There we go. There we go. We're live. We're live. This is going to be a good episode, everybody. We're going to bring you hope and joy that there is ammunition out there that can be found. Can we guarantee good prices? Absolutely not. Can we help you find some? Absolutely. So welcome to Caliber Corner episode number, where are we at? 154. And man, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a great episode today. I got an awesome panel. There's a lot of people that are out there. Ammunition is in high demand right now, so we're going to talk about it, give you some good suggestions for finding it, what to do. We'll talk a little reloading. I've discovered a couple interesting things when I was looking online, just checking out ammo prices. And man, let's just go ahead and get started. Let's let the panel introduce themselves. So on my left, we'll go ahead and let my range partner in crime and fellow Nebraska defense dad introduce himself. Defense dad, what do you know, man? What's new in your world?
What do I know? Not much.
All right.
Thanks for having me. Well, I think it's going to be a good chat.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I want you to check out Defense Dad's channel. He's making some really cool videos, got some awesome editing in them. They're fun to watch. And you want to talk a little bit about your budget versus beauty series. Can you give us a spoiler alert about maybe what you got lined up versus what you've done so far?
Well, basically, there's kind of two schools of thought. There's like the budget. I can get two of these for what one of these costs. And some people could afford the nicer gun, some people can't. So I'm just trying to get a collection together of both ends of it and take them out with the same shooter who's not a crack shot by any means.
Yeah.
And just see how they perform and see if there's really, because the price doesn't necessarily always, all equal accuracy, I guess.
And let me just talk about this right now, because you and I were at the range together and you made a recent video where you did the two 30-30s. Your Marlin 336 has an action that is buttery smooth and less just mechanical and rough compared to my Henry, which you're going to think, oh, the Henrys are fantastic. They are wonderful rifles, but that action on the 336, man, my God, that thing is just fantastic, And so when I was cycling my Henry for the first time, I mean, it's breaking in and it's getting a little bit better, but it's taken some time. And it might just be tolerances. It might be the internal machines or the internal, the parts themselves, the fitting and stuff like that. But
what model Henry do you have? What model Henry do you have?
I'm sorry. I thought you meant Marlin for Defense. Defense has got the Marlin 336C or CW. Is it C? And I've got the H0009CC, the color case hardened 30-30 with octagonal barrel.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's the one that I picked up. Yeah.
My H006 big boy did take a little bit to break in a little bit rough, not uncomfortable rough or gritty rough or anything else like that, but it did take a little. And I didn't clean it for like a year, and all the fouling from all the shooting that's in there kind of makes it hard to work the lever. But it'll run dirty. I shot 2 deer with a stuck lever from the fact that I didn't clean it. But It's still, yes, I haven't tried doing something like dumping mud or sand in there. But it is kind of interesting to compare the different types of actions. Does Marlin have? Do they build like less tolerance into it? Kind of like the AK where it will Defense Dad? Do you know if they?
This is my first venture into lever guns, so I don't. It's entirely possible. I just right out of the box, she's right. It's just spinning the silk and operates real easy.
What I've noticed is the initial when you pull on that lever, the Marlin has a little more play in it, but the 336, it feels like there's just an immediate lockup, and it's like the Marlin or the Henry, you'll have a little bit of effort and then more effort, and then you bring it back and it's a little loose. Where the 336, it just feels like there's continuous tension all the way through the entire cycle. That's really what it feels like. It just feels like it's just solid amount of pressure all the way through. And the Henry, it seems like it's kind of like almost like a 2-stage, lever movement is what it kind of feels like. It's like it's easy and then it's a little bit tougher and it kind of comes back. But like I said, I'm just breaking it in initially. So I'm sure after maybe the first 100 rounds, it's only had maybe 40 rounds put through it so far. So it's still, it's still pretty good. But yeah, and that reminds me of my old 336 that I had before. I had a 1991 336 CW, and that thing was good. I mean, it was just buttery smooth. So, but Defense Dad, maybe we need to do one with some of your H&Ks and my Smith & Wesson SD9 VE. That might make for a fun one. We'll get that over to you. You can shoot that one. So
I was going to do my G3C, but then I had to send it off for warranty work.
Yeah, sorry about that. So have you shipped it off yet?
Yeah, they've had it for a few days. It just says they received it. They haven't done anything to it yet.
So hopefully you'll have it back by the first of the year.
Hopefully.
I'm serious. I'm not joking. I mean, I really am. And I'm not trying to say that like to be a jerk or anything, but Whew, man. All right. So anyway, it's good to have you here. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got a little Calaveras 32 special joining us from the West Coast. The coast with the most Calaveras. How's your morning going, bro?
Going all right. On the road, got, coffee and breakfast, to eat as I drive. So it's going all right so far. I appreciate the invite.
What's for breakfast this morning? What are you working on? Did you go through any place that's really good? What do you got out there in California?
It was close to the house. I went through a Jack in the Box.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
got
man.
Breakfast, burrito, and coffee.
Man, I would give anything that. But for us, the closest Jack in the Box is probably Denver or maybe Kansas City, So good.
Yeah, for me, it's about a mile from my doorstep.
Dude, the tacos. They're so nasty, but they're so good. If you guys never had Jack in the Box tacos, they're just one of those 3 o'clock in the morning. They're fantastic. Don't ask me how I know. All right, let's see. All right, so moving on here. Okay, moving up the line. Oh, Calaveras, content on the channel. Do you have any new videos coming up? Anything that you want to let us know about? Anything that sounds good?
Yeah, that's where I have a video on a craft holster coming out, just kind of a first thoughts and intro video. As I get more information about it, I'll be doing some follow-ups.
Okay.
Other than that, content might be slowing down a little bit for me because I just got a new job, so I might be putting in some extra hours in the office for a while.
Now, is that a metaphor for being a new husband, or you literally have a new job?
I gave my current boss my 2 weeks notice, and I signed and accepted my offer letter for a new company.
Congratulations, man. All right. Is this a little bit closer now? You got a little bit less of a commute, or?
That's about the same.
Okay.
But, just changing over to, a little bit different, different jobs, that gives me a few different options for growth in the future.
Cool, man. Good deal. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Hell yeah. All right. And then moving up there, the thumbnail that you see there, that's my character in Grand Theft Auto. Squib's joining us today. Squibby, what's new in your world, man?
I've got more videos to edit than I have time or that I make time for, but
dude, you got to make time for the package I sent you. I've got to get your take.
You know what? Okay, it's right here, and I found it was downstairs in with all kinds of other. What, you sent it to me like over a month ago. The thing is, though, it says it's got a 3-letter word on it. It says T.
Wait till you open it.
T.
Just wait till you open it. I got you one. I got you one just for you. I got you one just that you're gonna love. You're gonna be like, oh my god, are you serious? Wait till you see one of the teas that I got you.
T.
I understand that. That doesn't matter. There are some good teas out there, dude. There's some really good teas out there that are pretty hearty, that have a crap ton of caffeine in them. So I'm not getting all crazy with like herbal chamomile. I do hardcore dark teas, we bust out a little bit of Earl Grey or some orange Pico. Anyway, that's for different. Yeah.
Yeah, Squibload. How far is the closest harbor from you?
This is
right
terrible,
across
dude.
the street. Do you count a boat launch?
So what I got you came from a Nebraska business. It's a local business, and there's only 2 of those stores in the state, if I'm not mistaken. So you're gonna love what's in there. It's awesome. I got you a couple of my favorites. Okay, in fact, one of them I think I haven't even reviewed yet. So.
Well, I gotta say there are a lot of things that I've found in Nebraska that I haven't been disappointed with. It, your whole thing about you got to get off the interstate and look around. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of things as far as quality items that you can buy there or bring back from there, I should say, or because I can't buy wine online and have it shipped to Michigan from Nebraska or Pennsylvania or a couple other states that won't ship stuff here. But yeah, I'll have to make a video.
All right. You're gonna like one of the ones that's in there. It's definitely tailored to your taste. So.
You have a box on the way. As a matter of fact, I got to text you after the show. I got to text you the tracking number.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, man.
Be careful opening it up. You don't want to puncture anything.
Now, hey, I got a question. You have a couple different channels. The one that has the most variety in it. Are you sticking that to the Squiblift channel, or is it the Squibload channel? Or does it really matter anymore? Are you just posting stuff to both, or are you just keeping your Squib Speaks ones on? I mean, what?
So Squibload will have my speaking Squibbish and a lot of my opinion stuff. And it will have other junk like my garden stuff or some of my reviews and firearm stuff, obviously.
Okay.
I've kind of taken the rail fanning out of that, but just put more opinion stuff in there. My squib lift is more work stuff than other things, but I recently put something political in there, and I do some product reviews on that one. And then my other channels are not really anything anybody here would want to watch. So,
Okay.
but I am trying to push my Gunstreamer a little bit more. I've been I'd say most of the videos on Gunstreamer, or my intention is for most of my videos on Gunstreamer to be different versions of the same video on YouTube. There will be some times where I just use the feature, just copy it over. So I did the whole if I could only have one gun thing, right? Which I didn't want to do. And I put a teaser on my YouTube channel to get people to go over and see the video on Gunstreamer. Now, I watched it after I loaded it, and it worked fine from my desktop. Then I watched it a couple hours later from work on my phone, and it was just fine. But apparently people were saying it was glitching out. I came home and watched it again on my desktop. It was glitching out. I checked. The resolution was too high. I reinstalled it with a lower resolution, and it seemed to. So I don't know if anybody went over there, it started, glitching, and they clicked it off or whatnot. But I put a link in the description section. Nobody ever seems to read the description. You have noticed that nobody reads the description section, even if you point.
There's so many channels that don't put anything other than just contact info and their sponsor links and their Patreon. They don't really give, and I don't even do it on my B channel because I just don't spend the time. But like my A channel, I still put my disclaimers in there, all my contact info. I used to write real long descriptions, but a lot of it's just kind of time, especially if you're mobile and you're on the go and you're trying to upload a video. And so I try to at least cut and paste over the contact info and stuff. But yeah.
But for example, using Gunstreamer, I can't put a link to a firearm company in the description on the YouTube video, or ammo company or something like that, because they don't want to see that. But on Gunstreamer, I can. So if you look at the video and I say go check out my Gunstreamer video, there could be something like that. It might be longer, it might be more detailed, it might have a different angle. Sometimes I use 2 cameras, whatever it is. But there may also be more information in that description section, so that you have to go, well, this is a great product, but why can't I get a link to find out where to buy it? Well, you can if you watch my Gunstreamer. And it's not to say that all my videos go over to Gunstreamer. They don't. I only do my firearm stuff over there. But I try to make it a little bit different so that somebody who takes the time to go over there to watch can see. And I'm trying to push the platform because, you never know what's going to happen. Plus YouTube, some of the things. It's not to say that, YouTube's free. So it's not like I'm paying for it and I'm getting bad service. Yeah. It's free and I'm getting bad service. But I had a problem with that. So I don't know if that turned people off from going over there to check it out. And then I had another issue where I put videos in the studio there on Gunstreamer or whatever they call it, and I put them all as either private or unlisted, and it published all of them. So Gunstreamer, you guys need to get that fixed or something. I don't know what's up, but I posted 3 videos in one day, but that's not. I loaded 3 videos. I only published 1, but it published all of them. So if you want to
go back in the settings and change it to private,
in the settings it doesn't have that. It defaults to private, but it still published them. So, and that's something I would like to see. Gunstreamer still needs some work, but if we don't push the platform, if we don't bring traffic over there, they're not going to. And I know some channels don't want to go over there because they're not monetized, and if they can't make money, they're not doing a video. Well, that says something about whatever. But and there is Contributus over there, even though I don't use it. Gunstreamer keeps pushing Contributus, but. Just as far as maybe making something to get your audience to want to go over there by saying, oh, you didn't put this video on YouTube, or, oh, there's a different version. Or so if you go over there, check it out, if you can, if you want to. If you don't, fine, whatever. I'm not worried about views, but it's just something that I've been doing. So when I'm editing a video or I'm shooting a video, I'm actually trying to shoot 2 videos and edit 2 videos, and that takes more time and stuff like that. So it kind of
that though really gives you like a little bit of a bonus to go over there and check that out, because it's like an exclusive content idea. And there's there's videos I don't make because YouTube won't host them. But again, if YouTube ever pushes us off, I mean, it'd be nice to have an alternative, or we should be building an alternative. Every time I go over to Gunstreamer, I mean, I don't pay as much attention to the comments as I probably should. I do check in and upload a video and respond to people at that point. And And thank you, Squib, because you're always checking out my videos over on Gunstreamer, and you leave comments and feedback.
I just want you to know somebody's watching.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I mean, I've been slowly watching my subscriber base jump over at Gunstreamer now. UGEtube, I've only got like 30 subscribers, but I've got my entire catalog over there, and I upload to UGEtube, but I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with UGEtube.
So,
I know.
For anybody out there who's making videos and on YouTube and they're like, I don't want to deal with Gunstreamer. I don't want. Here's a good example. I was at the Second Amendment rally on Thursday. And in the background, they were playing a Toby Keith song. And then also in the background, one of the opposition was playing a song in their car with the stereo. And I recorded this, but I wasn't trying to like get an entire song and do a music video or something like that. Instantly got hit with copyright strikes. Now, they still published the video, but they said I can't make any money off of it, which I don't care. I've never been monetized, and I probably never will be. And also, you can't watch my video in Denmark. So sorry for my fans in Denmark, but otherwise it's out there. Now,
you told me you were big in Europe, you liar.
Yeah, I know. I was like Hasselhoff, right? So the thing is, Gunstreamer doesn't do that. If you've got that in the background, they're not going to say, oh, sorry, copyright strike, we can't do this or can't do that. So that's another reason why I think we should try to push the platform, is because it's a viable option. If you've got a video that you want to, my thing about the video was just showing what it's like at a rally and all this other stuff. And that music was part of doing the video. And I just don't like the fact that I'm not making any money off this. I'm not trying to steal somebody's intellectual whatever and all that. It's in my, and YouTube still put that strike on there. I mean, fortunately it was published, but
yeah.
So Gunstreamer, you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. Just like you don't have to worry about putting links to an ammunition company in the description section or something like that. So I'm just saying there are reasons. There's more to it than just making money. There are reasons it's a viable platform.
Yeah. No, I know it does make sense, man. It's a lot of fun interacting with people and having chats with people and getting yelled at by people. All right. AWAG, what's going on, man? What's doing your world, brother?
Just packing up, getting ready to move.
Cool. Do you have a job lined up when you get down there? Have you found anything yet?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Good. All right. Awesome.
I got a couple. And my job here is giving me a letter of recommendation as well. So
sweet. I'm gonna try to make it an effort to come out and visit you guys this summer, man. I need to hit the Southeast. I haven't been down south in such a long time. I need to get out there and we'll do some videos and we'll chill and stuff.
Yeah.
Hook up with you and Night Strike and Sarge and all. I need to do a little Southwest tour or Southeastern tour, I think. So
yeah, I've been looking for a place. It's kind of sad because from what I've seen in South Carolina, all the ranges kind of suck. Besides Night Strike, except that's a work in progress.
Okay. Well, you can always come to Nebraska. I mean, I can't. I mean, you're going to be limited to 2,000 yards. I'm sorry, but
darn.
And we've got low property costs, and we've got affordable utilities, and we've got
same thing in South Carolina. It's pretty nice down there.
Oh yeah,
you invented Kool-Aid. I mean, there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, AWAG. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite.
We're going to have a little chat here pretty soon talking about ammo. So, Single Shot, what is new in your world, man? What do you know? Single Shot.
Just out here running the roads. I've been extremely busy here lately.
What you're saying?
My choice of home time has been very limited, so I haven't had a chance to do a whole lot of anything right now. I'm headed down to Georgia with a load to deliver Monday morning. And then we've got a load to pick up that's going back up into Maine. So maybe I'll get a day or two at that point in time. But right now, just looking at the leaves changing up there. It's getting cooler. And we've got some areas up there right now that are down into the low 30s. So
it's coming, man. Winter's coming. I'm excited. It'd be nice to go out to the range and not sweat and be killed by mosquitoes and gnats and stuff. I'm looking forward to it, man. I like videos in the fall in Nebraska. Unfortunately, you get a lot of wind, and so it makes it really complicated trying to film outside. But I need to get a different mic. I've got a better camera now that has an external mic hookup, so I think I can finally have some non-windy audio for once. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to fall. We've been dropping down into the upper 40s, lower 50s now, which is really nice in the evening. So it's been beautiful. But awesome, man. I'm glad you're here, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for the invite, and say hello to everybody on the panel here and in the chat as well. But
yeah, man.
eventually, we'll definitely be getting some more videos out. Just got to get the time right now. That's a very rare commodity here lately.
Well, for
But I'm
everybody,
not
we're back at
complaining.
work. We just don't have the free time. I mean, I had months and months of downtime where I was out making videos all the time and stuff. And now I'm just crazy busy, dude. I'm lucky if I can get one out a week on top of Caliber Corner. So, I mean, I'll keep putting out content, but time-wise, plus, we're losing daylight now too. And, we're losing in Nebraska and, in the wintertime, the sun sets at like, I think it bottoms out at like 5 p.m. It's already sunset. So to get out to the range after work, it's really hard to do unless it's a weekend. So, yeah. Cool, man. All right. And just a quick reminder that our sponsor for today's episode of Caliber Corner is SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. There it is. Make sure you guys take the Lexington exit off Interstate 80, Central Nebraska. Go over to SS Pawn, check it out, say hello to Stan, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. SS Pawn's been a long-time supporter of the channel, probably going on close to 3 years now that Stan's been loading me firearms from his collection, and I've been able to bring you guys awesome content. I've got 2 videos we'll be bringing up from a few handguns that Stan has loaned me. I'm excited to bring those out to you. I've got a new upper that I'm going to be testing here soon on the channel. I just put a little revolver video out the other day, so there's going to be a lot more content coming, but I'm going to be pretty much limited to about a video a week with just the time that I have because I've been calling it kind of early every night, but we're still going to keep bringing you guys awesome content because you all are awesome. So we're talking about ammo. No. Let's get some good news out here first. So I've got some good news. I just read an article online last night from a publication that I trust. Everybody's talking about how primers are really hard to find. There's a lot of us that want to go and do our reloading. There are massive shipments of primers that are coming over from Europe that should be here by probably the end of September once they clear customs. Fiocchi, Cellier and Below, Wolf, a lot of these companies are now shipping just their packaging and shipping primers to the United States because primers are really, really hard to find right now, especially like your small pistol primers. Now you might say, well, I can find them all the time. We've been cleaned out pretty good out here in our local stores and shops. So there is going to be imports of primers coming over. And I don't know if that's going to be, I don't know what the prices are looking like right now, but there may be some relief. But already looking at the chat, a lot of you guys are saying, man, when this stuff is over, I'm going to buy 100,000 rounds. I'm going to buy 100,000 primers. I mean, is it going to make things any better? I don't know, but expect to see imports of primers coming over here soon. Also, PSA did drop the Dagger last night, if I'm not mistaken, for sale on their website, and it sold out in 4.5 seconds. I just made that up, but I wouldn't be surprised. More of those will be coming out as time goes on. I'm excited for the Dagger. I think it's a good thing. I mean, at one point, there were already a lot of great pistols you could get out there for $249 and under $299. The sub $300 pistol market is extremely competitive, but it's cool that PSA is putting one out there that's got the Glock compatibility, especially if you want to swap out the fire control group, the sights, the components, the barrel. It's basically Gen 3 compatible, Glock 19 compatible. So that'll be cool. And it'll be interesting to see if they make a Dagger that's larger, more like a G17 pattern too in the near future. So they're going out there too. I mean, they released it at the perfect time. I knew that sucker was going to sell out. I didn't even know it was for sale until somebody sent me a message and said, hey, the Dagger's for sale. Well, by the time I got to PSA's website, it was already done. Also, I'll be doing another AR-15 kind of put together build. I'm not sure exactly what upper I'm going to go with, but I've got a lower I'll be picking up soon. So that's going to be coming our way. Another thing that's kind of interesting, just to kind of talk about ammo real quick, if you have primers, but you don't have brass and you don't have bullets and you don't have a reloading setup, but if you happen to be sitting on a lot of primers, if you contact Supervel Ammunition, they have a BYOP program where you can properly ship your primers. You got to pay hazmat fee on it, but you can ship your primers to Supervel and they will load 9mm ammunition for you. Because even the smaller companies are having trouble getting primers because domestically there's only, I think, 4 companies that actually produce primers for domestic consumption. And Supervel will load ammunition for you. I'm not 100% sure about the prices and the shipping and everything, but they will load. But there's a 1,000 primer minimum. So if you're sitting on a bunch of primers and you don't have time or don't have components or don't want to mess with it, you can ship your primers off and they'll do that for you. So if you could get 1,000 rounds from Supervel, right now they're selling 20 rounds of their hollow point 115 grain plus P ammo for $22.95 a box. I don't know if that's for a box of 20 or a box of 50. I can't remember. But if you can get 1,000 rounds for, say, under $400, then I think that would be a pretty good deal because the prices I'm seeing right now for 1,000 rounds of brass 115 grain 9mm is like $500 to $600. So you can get I was over looking at Ammo Seek. Let's see here. 1,000 rounds. Oh, where's it at? Here it is. Okay, let's check out the 9. Let's talk 9mm real quick and 9mm prices. If you want to buy a case of 1,000, $499 is going to get you in with 1,000 rounds of steel case ammo. If you want Blazer, you can also get that for $499, so $500. So if Supervel can load it for you, I'm kind of curious how that works out. If Supervel can get you 1,000 rounds for under $500, but say they can do it for under $400, it kind of offsets that shipping cost. So consider that. So that's also some good news. There is some hope out there. And you can get, your 9mm and so on, but you're going to pay anywhere between any more 49, 50, 60 cents per round on up for a single shot of 9mm. Okay. Let's just run this one around the horn real quick. Let's just run this one around the panel. Have you guys found any good deals on ammo? Have you picked any up recently? Are things still looking pretty dry? The idea here is to give the viewer some hope because you can still find ammo. You just got to be very persistent about where you look. Squib, I want to drop this one on you first. Have you found any good deals on ammo? I know you're a reloader. I get it. Dude, I'm totally down. But Squib, have you found, are you seeing anything on the shelves at all or not?
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I picked up 200 rounds of 9mm, 100 of 380, 40 of 6.5 Carcano. I think 200 of 22 long rifle. I picked up 1,600 primers, a pound of powder. I picked up 200 percussion caps, number 10s. Yeah. And I paid pretty much normal price for all of them. The 9mm was $15 a box.
Okay. So that's anything under 20 is a good deal anymore for 9 box.
2 years ago, 9mm was $15 a box. People are there, $9, blah, blah, blah. Okay, dude, I remember when it was $3.50 a box. All right. So don't tell me about prices. But 15 is not too crazy. Anything over 20, that's where you start to get ridiculous. And that's, with pretty much most calibers, unless it's like something rare or something, really, they just don't make mass produce, right? Some sort of Wildcat or something like that.
Yeah.
But pretty much all the ammo I paid was normal price. The reload supplies, normal price, all that stuff. I didn't have to wait in line. They were limiting, how much per person, but I wasn't there, bringing my whole family in or making, I had to make a trip back, but it was to buy gunsmithing tools. So I picked up a little bit more on the trip back, but otherwise I wasn't like going out to my truck and coming back in and go, it was supposed to be 1 box per customer per day. So all I had to do is change my shirt. They wouldn't remember me.
We'll go from the pink polo to the blue polo.
And I was,
Did you have no, that's not you.
I was, when I left the Second Amendment rally in Lansing, I stopped at a store on the way home and picked up some more 22 long rifle, and people were like, "Oh, there's plenty." Yeah, I mean, they had shotgun shells up and down the shelves, but the rimfire and centerfire was behind the counter. There was some centerfire, but I didn't ask for it. I was just getting more stocking stuffers. So it's out there. You just got to look. You got to be there at the right time. I think if they get ammunition in, it's going to fly off the shelves pretty quick. I mean, the place where I picked up all the ammo 2 weeks ago, they said we sold 80,000 rounds of 9mm in one day.
Oh, yeah.
In one day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not going to take, these consumption numbers are going to be this way for indefinitely. I mean, because then you got guys like us that have been patiently waiting around that don't want to pay those prices. And when the price drops, you're like, I'll go buy 100 rounds here. I'll go buy 100 rounds there. So Squib, let me ask you this question. Primer prices, powder prices, or primer prices going up, or are they charging you close to what you were paying pre-pandemic?
What I've seen online and what I've seen at the stores about normal for all that. There was a powder shortage at first during this, and it all came back. And primers have come back a couple times. I've actually got in-stock notices, but you know how those go. Like you said, 4.5 seconds, they're done.
Oh, if you don't hit your phone the second that email shows up, gone.
Some places are charging more, and I won't do business with them because there's still enough out there that sell the stuff for normal price. But I'm really not having that big of a problem. Now, I will tell you, I placed an order with Graff and Sons, and I haven't bought anything from them in years. Not because they suck. It's just I didn't need anything. It took them 2 weeks before they even processed my credit card. I still don't even have a shipping confirmation. So some of these places, now Midway, I ordered it, instant charge, and 4 days later I had it, right? The Graff and Sons, it's sitting on it. My local manufacturer of ammunition, they keep sending out product alerts. They'll get it back. They had 9mm last week, right? And then they sold out. They still got, 223 and 45 AARP They've had that the whole time, but I mean, they're selling out everything else too. I mean, they're selling out of their patches for Pete's sakes.
Oh yeah, I mean it's there. Just unfortunately, and I want to get to this point at some point once we kind of go around and let everybody talk about this. I mean the new gun owners, you guys really, really need to watch those prices because you can really get taken advantage of. But I mean, a lot of people, if they don't have anything nearby or they don't realize you can buy ammo online, I mean that's not. I mean, it's that's just kind of it is what it is for right now. So. All right. So AWAG, what about you? Local ammunition? Are you be able to find it okay? What kind of prices are you dealing with in your neck of the woods? Because we're covering the entire country by having the entire panel share with us. So Squib, you're more of the Midwest. AWAG, you're East Coast. How are things looking out east?
I'll be honest. New Jersey is kind of an anomaly in the fact that, there are people that are panic buying, but all the stores that I've been to, they all have really large stocks of like 9mm, 223, 308, that kind of stuff. And
okay, what kind of prices are they charging? What are you seeing?
They're all normal. They're all normal prices. I mean, I picked up 500 rounds of Federal plus P plus 9mm for like, I think I only paid like $14 a box.
Okay, so. And a business can charge what they want to charge, but do you think there is some good old-fashioned gouging going on right now? If we're seeing stuff at regular prices in other places of the country and they keep it in stock, but then you got your local, I don't want to say small gun store, but like your big box stores or places that are charging,
I think there are
$25 for a box of 50 rounds of Federal 9, At what point do we think at what point do we not support them because they're taking advantage of us, the customer?
I mean, it gets to the point where I see there's two different types of mom and pop shops of gun shops. There's the main highway mom and pop gun shop, which doesn't really care about who comes in. It's much like Cabela's. They're just like an entity that's there just to make profit per se. And then there's the sort of backwoods mom and pop shop that remembers everybody that comes in and, looks out for people that come in that are regulars. That's how I see it. But, with New Jersey being how awkward that it is, especially with all of the laws and hoops that you have to jump through in order to even buy ammo, I think it slows people down in how much they can panic buy per se.
Yeah.
But still, I could go out and buy a case of 5.56 for like $320.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, because we've got a local gun store here, and it's not a little mom and pop. It's a big, independently owned gun store, and they're charging $20 for a box of 20 rounds of Hornady Frontier 62 grain. And they can. They have every right to, and we have every right not to shop there. And that's fine. But I'm just saying, man, that's just – and then they're charging – Defense Dad, help me out here. What were they asking for the Federal? $28 a box for a box of 50 rounds of Federal? Defense Dad, do you remember? What was the price on that? Remember, we complain about every time we get the emails on it.
Sorry, I have a mute button question.
No, it's all good, man.
Actually, I'm on the website right now. They have for a box 25? of 50 Federal, it's $28.99.
Jesus.
$29.99 if you want the 124 grain. And, they can charge what they want to. I have other issues. I won't spend money there, but
yeah.
When we got another really nice store that's smaller here in town that's charging, $16 a box?
Mm-hmm.
So for half the price, I'll drive a little further.
Yeah, so if you are a new gun owner, if you're listening to this, or you are just looking for 9, look around. You might be surprised your local ranges might only be charging $15 or $16 a box. I mean, that's still better than $28 a box. Do just spend some time and some gas and drive around. Do some price comparisons and just see what's out there because you might be surprised. Even you might sit there and think, oh my God, the range ammo is so expensive. When you and I were at the range that we went to pick up our stripped lowers, they were charging pretty fair prices for brass 762 by 39, and they had pretty decent prices for surplus 762 by 39. I mean, it was kind of close to what I pay at other places here in town.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. After we left, I went back there the next day and I picked up another 500 rounds of that stuff because
good.
It was only like $1.50 more a box than I paid a couple months ago for that first 1,000 rounds. And
exactly. Yeah, right on. There you go. I mean, you got to pay tax either way, really. I mean, so you might as well just go ahead and just get it local.
Yep.
Okay. Single shot. What about you, man? East Coast, are you seeing the same kind of thing as AWAG? I know you're in a different part of the East Coast. Are you finding pretty good prices overall? Are things really high, or is stuff sold out all over the place? What are you seeing?
Well, they're not gouging too heavily yet on ammunition, but on the powder, I've noticed a few of the shops that I frequent has gone up quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have a good assortment of bullets, stuff like that. The brass you could still get fairly well. I have had a lot of trouble, like everybody else, about getting primers.
Yeah,
boy,
that's
oh boy.
kind of.
That's been
Well, I think you've got a slew of new people that have gotten into reloading because they're desperate to find ammo and they don't want to pay those prices. So they're like, you know what? I'm just going to get into reloading. And they I really think because the fact that all the reloading stuff, a lot of reloading stuff is sold out everywhere. And for a while it was. That speaks, either it's guys that are reloading that are buying extra presses, or it's people that are getting into it. I'm going to say this right now. I had made a video called "How Much Does It Cost to Get Into Loading 9mm?" I made it like almost 2 years ago. Squib gave me a bunch of stuff to get me into reloading 9mm. I made a video on it, and that video has skyrocketed in views in the last 6 months. And I mean,
oh yeah,
and it's kind of funny watching the evolution of the comments on that video, because it started off like, well, you'll never get your money back if you just reload 9. That wasn't even the point of the video. The point of the video was to show you what it costs to get into reloading 9mm. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not, but now the comments are like, yeah, I'm trying to find a press now. I'm trying to get primers. I'm so tired of paying these prices. It's amazing how now that you can't get the $9 box of 50 rounds at your Walmart, people are just like, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's been funny watching the comments, because for a long time, first people, were tearing into me because Squib gave me so much stuff to get me into reloading. It's like, look, it's a friend helping out a friend, right? Don't get mad at me because I'm talking.
Oh no, I was not helping you. I was corrupting you.
You were. You got me into it in the worst way. Now I went out and I got a 12 gauge press and stuff now. But I mean, I'm trying to explain it, but I did still put the prices of everything. I said, look, as of this date, this is what you're looking at per round for 9. And then I also mentioned in the video, you can the idea behind reloading, people, it's not a sprint. If you're getting into reloading just so you can load that box of 59mm rounds, you got the wrong philosophy about reloading. You're doing it a marathon. You're doing it so A, you can sustain yourself and make yourself ammo when you need to. And B, you can load other calibers, and you will start to save money if you load particular other calibers, right? Like if I reloaded 6.5 Creedmoor, I can make a round that is very similar to Hornady Precision or Hornady Match for half the price per box. So it is, I'm not trying to rip into reloaders, but I'm just saying it's been funny, the feedback I've been getting on people from the videos, because I try to respond to as many comments as I can. If you ever watch my videos, I respond. Unless I don't see the comment, if it doesn't get pushed through, I respond back. So anyway, single shot. Prices on the ammo, you said we're okay on ammo, but primers are rare.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing, too. Of course, I've been casting since 1983. That's another issue there by itself. I mean, you guys that are getting into casting, if you're thinking about getting into casting, pretty much so the price of the equipment is manageable, but trying to find the lead is quite the deal. I know some of the guys have gotten into casting zinc. There's a few of those guys that I know that I chat with every now and again that have gotten into that, but that takes more heavier duty equipment to cast zinc. Of course, the only place that I can seem to get my stuff is out of California for lead.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. That's outrageous.
And I'll tell you, the copper ammunition market is really exploding right now too. Those really freaking good. Because for a while, copper bullets are just those places are just like Fort Scott munitions. Yeah.
No.
And really
so you really have to, you got to sit back and you got to say, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to be competitive shooting? Okay, get into reloading, absolutely. But if you're just going to be out in the backyard plinking, something just out fooling around on a Saturday afternoon, we'll say, and you're not going to shoot all that much ammunition, then buy it from the store. And most of the time I have the philosophy that if I've got brass, 22 even, I'll pick that stuff up and throw it into a scrap bucket. And eventually I'll get enough to take some brass in and get a few bucks out of that.
Sure. I mean, it's just sitting there. Oh man, you ought to check out our ranges. There's brass everywhere. I mean, I was there, Defense Dad and I were there, and I found like 15 rounds of 45-70, just empty brass, just sitting there in the rocks. And there was an old guy that showed up that was picking all of it up. And so I hooked him up. He thought he struck gold, man. So
That's
yeah.
right. I went into one of the police ranges down in South Central Georgia. My friend, a friend of mine, and myself, we went in there and spent the entire day picking up brass at that range.
Heck
And
yeah,
it was
dude.
like I walked away with well over 600 pieces of 9mm brass.
Nice.
So it's if they'll let you pick it up, even with the banks at your range, if they'll let you sift those banks out, recover the lead from there, save that copper jacket, because there you go, there's more money right there for somebody that casts bullets. So there's several ways you can get into this hobby and still be able to save a bunch of money. Now, when I was shooting competition, 45 ACP was one of the biggest calibers that I shot. I'd shoot 290 rounds per match, and at least 3 to 4 matches a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ammunition.
Oh yeah.
But when you're competing for the nationals, then you're going to go through that kind of ammunition. It was running me back then, I guess it was probably 25, 30 cents a round for 45 ACP. But I started reloading, that chopped it down to about 12 to 15 cents a round.
Okay.
Then I went one step even further and learned from my next door neighbor how to cast bullets. Got the lead, started casting. That price of that round dropped to 2 to 3 cents a round.
Nice.
So that is a big difference.
AWAG, real quick, you wanted to say something here? AWAG? You got your hand up, AWAG.
Sorry,
there you are, man. Now go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
I forgot to push a button. I just wanted to get my little spiel and my thoughts out because I got a bolt soon. But going back to what they earning money about brass is, I essentially paid for all the accessories on one of my rifles just by selling brass. I went to the range and I picked out 6.5 Creedmoor brass. I picked out the Federal 308 brass. Everything. I sorted everything, and the stuff that really isn't desirable that much, like your military 5.56 brass.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say 9mm that much. Depends on the type of casing it is, but I would sort out all those types of brasses. 6.5 Creedmoor is my best seller per se. I sell it for a decent price, and people pay shipping on it. And I over the course of like 6 months, I've made close to like $1,200 on just brass. So everything that I've gone through and sifted through and sorted, all the undesirable stuff goes into a 5-gallon bucket, and I had like 6 5-gallon buckets. And here in New Jersey, brass shell casings are going for $1 a pound.
Okay.
So I definitely worked my butt off moving through a lot of brass. Also, with new shooters, you can pick up even 500 rounds of, if you can pick up 500 rounds of 9mm, I would focus on what you would want to do with that ammo. Like if you want to shoot more accurately, focus on accuracy, or if you're like drawing, don't load up a whole magazine. If you're working on reloads, make sure that you go to the range and use only like 1 or 2 rounds in a magazine, so that you learn that when the gun run is empty, sorry, I'm being distracted over here.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
When that gun runs empty, you get the feeling that when the slide locks back, that way it tells you to reload instead of burning through 15, 16 rounds before you get that slide lock. Also, dry firing is your best friend. I dry fire my guns more than I actually shoot them. So, and don't be afraid to dry fire a gun unless it's a rimfire gun. Don't dry fire your rimfire guns, because that breaks things and makes things go all wonky. But if you have a modern day firearm, even some of your, early Cold War era guns, you're fine to dry fire them.
Be careful. I think like a CZ52, you want to be careful with that. I think
Yeah.
they have a fairly fragile fire.
I mean,
if you got something that's 50 or 60 years old, do some research before you decide to.
I heard 1911s have issues with dry firing too.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. I don't own a 1911.
We've had that discussion before. Squib, didn't you say it's not really a problem? Because we had mentioned,
with 1911s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a problem. If your 1911 breaks because you drop the slide or you dry fire it, it's a piece of crap.
Yeah. But
snap caps or spent casings.
Yeah.
I don't worry about it. I haven't broken a firing pin in anything yet, and I've dry fired my SIG thousands of times. And the best way that I find is a good way to dry fire is go on Amazon and pick up a 1-inch circle, like little sticker pack. So you take that little sticker, make sure it's like a removable kind or a paper kind that can easily be like peeled off the wall if you're so inclined. But I have a little 1-inch black sticker on my wall that I use as a dry fire point and also a drawing point.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to present the pistol or the rifle or whatever I'm using or practicing with that day, that's an aiming point on the wall that's constant. Whereas if you have like nothing on your wall and you're going to present the pistol, when you're presenting at a target, you might be off when you go to present, say, at like a match.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you have a target on the wall, it's constant, constant aiming. I'm trying to do like hand motions here, but obviously I don't have a camera. So, but the dry firing is your best friend. And I have saved countless rounds at the range just by dry firing. So you get those repetitions in and focus on one thing at a time. If you're trying to do like presenting the pistol, then going to a reload, it's too many actions at once, and it could actually hinder your ability to improve.
Well, and it does definitely gets you comfortable with, trigger fill. And there's a lot of little drills that you can do where you can see where your trigger pull actually puts the front of the gun after you pull the trigger, when you're dry firing. I've heard things where you can put like a quarter on top of your slide, or you can close your eyes and pull the trigger and open them and see where you tend to pull or drift the barrel. So there's a lot of good drills and practice you can get. I think we even did, if you look up Caliber Corner dry firing, I think we did a pretty good talk on drills and practices you can do in the home without having to use any ammunition, which I think is just as important as not being able to find ammo, because this gives you, especially new gun owners, you got to get used to that trigger and be comfortable with it and really get used to the ergonomics of your weapon, know the manual of arms for it. And I think it's definitely a good practice. So let's go ahead and blast on over to the West Coast. So Calaveras, how are things looking in California in terms of ammunition? Even though you've got restrictions and regulations, is ammunition fairly plentiful or not?
That's right. I haven't been into any of my local, the small mom and pop shops in a while, so I can't say there. That's for Sportsman's Warehouse and Bass Pro Shop, which are kind of just, everyone knows Bass Pro.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows Sportsman's, but it's something similar, just not as quite as big of a company. The Sportsman's Warehouse for us locally, the ammo is always gone. It's picked through. I mean, it's locked behind glass cases, so you can walk down and see what they have. Go to the gun counter and get a number, and then they'll come out to help you get it, and then run your background check. Bass Pro, last time I was in there, had a lot of ammo, in part because you had to wait in line, and everyone was doing background checks ahead of you before they had the ammo section blocked off, so you could only get in there once you had spoke to a associate. So you're waiting for everyone else's background checks to clear before you can even go see if they have what you want, let alone buy what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So Bass Pro had a fair amount of ammo. Reloading supplies everywhere I've gone have been almost non-existent. Like last time I went into Sportsman's Warehouse looking at reloading supplies, I think they had about 6 different boxes of slugs, and that was, I think it was like 6 different calibers. Normally they've got about 300 boxes of slugs, and normally they've got about 200 boxes of primers. This time they had 2. So it's picked through pretty good.
Yeah. Well, as for us out here in the Great Plains, we it depends on where you're looking around. If you go to some of the local ranges, you can get pretty good prices on 9mm, $15 a box for 115 grain. Depends on the store. It really does. Like we've got a big box for Shields, which is kind of like a Bass Pro, but then they have all the other sports mixed in with it and stuff. They're just charging just regular retail prices on ammo. They were selling Hornady Frontier 5.56 for $9.99 for a box of 20, which is maybe $1 more than it was before all this started. That's a higher price ammunition. I used to get American Eagle at Walmart for $6.99 a box for 20 rounds of 223, and then like $7.99 for 5.56. So, it's out there. You just need to kind of make the effort to look around and see what you can do, see where you can find it. Online, go ahead.
That's right. I just realized, I didn't mention what the prices are out here.
Yeah.
That's for when you can find them. The prices seem to be, most places, relatively on par with where they were before. Difference is your Winchester white box, your less expensive ammo is usually sold out. So you have to go up to your the Winchester Defender hollow points and your
gold dots, your Hornady critical defense, your I call it your defensive grade round, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's where you have to go up to your premium ammo to find anything. So you're going to be spending a lot, but it's relatively comparative to what that ammo was previously. You're just not going to find your cheap plinking ammo.
Yeah. A couple funny comments out there. I think a Patriot in the Dark said that he was sitting on a 9mm Smith & Wesson Shield that he had for sale. Nobody wanted it. Nobody was interested in it until he threw in a box of 50, and then he sold it right away. That might be the strategy to move in a firearm. Where is another comment I wanted to mention here? Let's see. Where's this at? Patrick says, I got about 10,000 rounds of 9mm on hand. Been thinking about selling some to take advantage of the market, say maybe 60 cents per round. Thoughts? So Patrick, you're actually higher than what it's going to cost me on AmmoSeek. I can get in at 49 cents per round. So if you're doing 49.9 cents per round, nobody can complain and say, well, you're charging over the current market price, because that's what I can get 1,000 rounds for. Now, granted, I'm probably going to have to pay shipping, maybe, and I'm probably going to have to pay sales tax. So, that's not bad at 60 cents a round, especially if there's not going to be any sales tax on that. So just kind of watch out on the legalities behind selling ammunition. I just don't want to see you get in trouble, so be careful. But what do we got? Vanessa Kitty says paper towels are again drying up here. Vanessa Kitty, was that supposed to be a pun, or was that for real? Yeah, I think you're going to start to get a little bit of panic buying as we get closer to election time, especially as I listen on talk radio and there's sides discussing, a possibility of civil war, civil unrest, and Trump declaring whatever you want to call it, an election that's fouled up or whatever. But anyway, so back to the ammunition talk. Now, I don't know how to approach this. Guys on the panel, help me out here. When we're talking about the new gun owners that are out there, we're not gonna criticize them for waiting so long to buy their guns, because everybody buys a gun for a different reason. Their first gun. What kind of advice can we give them for the ammunition? Because they might be in a store, they might get a great price on a gun, but they might be in a store that's going to charge them double or triple what they would normally pay for a box of ammunition. My honest opinion is, if you're a new gun owner and you don't understand how the online market works and you don't understand prices, take some time and educate yourself. If you just so you can have a box of something, just get it at the store so you have the ammunition, so you can, you never know when you're going to need that firearm. And am I saying, pay those prices and take it? Yes, just because you might not be able to find it anywhere else. It really does depend on where you are and how far you're willing to travel to get that ammunition. But Defense Set, what do you think, man?
Well, this is what I did. This is the advice I got when I was a new gun owner is, initially, if you buy a gun and they have some, get a couple boxes, get what you can get so you can practice with it. But then every time you're out, if you see it, buy a box or two. Like a lot of the shops here, not a lot of them, but when you have in stock, they're limited to 2 boxes. So buy 2 boxes every time you're there. And then eventually you'll get some stored up, unless you just shoot it as you buy it.
Yeah, I just, for the longest time I did that. I would just, every single time I go to Walmart, I'd go back to the ammo case, get a box of 50. It was a pain because they had to go get somebody to unlock the case for me. And I was kind of joking about how they need to have a frequent buyer card where you can just swipe it and the case unlocks and you can open it and take it and pay for it. But yeah, just get a little bit at a time. The other option that you can do, and I'm going to be a sarcastic jerk here for a second, if you have someone in the family that's a gun person and you just have your first firearm, I want you to call them up. And I want you to apologize to them for calling them a crazy gun nut because they bought 1,000 rounds at a time simply because they wanted to save money, not because they're going to try to take over their local town. Apologize to them and then ask them politely if they'd be willing to either give you or sell you some ammunition for your firearm. Okay, now, when I have family members that purchase a new firearm, close family, I feel it is my duty to make sure that they have an adequate supply of ammunition. I'll give them 100 rounds, maybe 150 rounds so they can practice, get comfortable with the firearm. I've got a family member who recently bought her first firearm. I gave her a couple hundred rounds to get her going. And, well, I'm not going to give my stocks up. I've got enough. I'm fine. I'm happy with that. Even if ammunition stopped today, I would feel comfortable that I could defend myself for the rest of my life. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but help your family out. If you've got somebody that's going to get a gun and they can't find 9 or they're going to get gouged on it, give them a box of 50. How many times are you really going to have to do that? Or, if you got somebody who buys a firearm from you, you can always sweeten the deal by throwing a couple boxes in there. So that's just kind of my little take on it. So Squib, I'm kind of feeding off your coattails on the video you did where you were criticizing the new gun owners for thinking that they're now advocates for the Second Amendment because they bought that first gun because their lives are potentially being threatened. That was a great video, man. Where you went out there and said, don't sit there and think you're part of our 2A community because you're barely getting your toes wet, buddy. Yeah.
When I look over to my left and my right and I see these new people at the rally with me, then I'll say welcome. Until then, no. They're bandwagon fans. Here's the thing. I got pushback from that video. I got pushback on some videos where I talked about ammo purchases. The reason I did the videos was to show you can find ammo, you can find reloading supplies. You're going to have to do some looking. You're going to have to be patient. But the thing I said that really ticked off the most people was more than likely, you're going to have to wait until things come back into stock. That might not be till next year. It could be next week. Who knows? But the thing is, you've got to be patient. If you've been doing this for a while and you've gone through shortages before, and it's not always just ammo either. We had shortages on AR mags and stuff like that. If you've gone through shortages before, and then when the shortages go away and the prices go down and the stock goes up, you don't buy then you haven't learned a thing. And if you're brand new, and you say, I got the gun and I can't get any ammo. Okay, remember this so that when the ammo does come back into stock, you buy it, you make sure you get extra. You do the little tricks like picking up stuff on sale. You pick up a box or two every payday, something like that. And you build up and then you're ready for next time. And then next time you can make videos like me and go, I've got plenty of ammo. What's the problem? But that's just it. People don't want to do that. They want it now. They don't want to hear an answer like, what do you mean I got to wait? What do you mean
I got to do a background check on ammo? This is the infringing on my rights.
Yeah. And the whole thing is, okay, it just, I'm not going to lie to them and go, well, yeah, if you go over here and you do this, you'll just, they want ammo and they want it yesterday and they want it cheap. And that's just not going to happen. And if you can't deal with that, well, sell me your gun at half price.
Just a real quick comment, if I can, about your, making sure you do your research so you can be educated. That's where, talking to people at the, more experienced people at the shop sometimes can be useful as well. Since this ammo shortage, I've talked to 2 different people at the local big box because I was standing there looking at what limited reload supplies they had, trying to see if they had something I could use. And I had someone next to me that pulled a box of slugs off the shelf, thinking it was loaded ammo and they could use it in their firearm class the next day. Having to explain to them what they were looking at, and so definitely, if you're people need to make a diligent effort to learn about what they're looking at, or at least the difference between loaded ammo and reloading components.
Definitely, man.
Well, that's partly up to the salesperson at the gun stores. They should, if you're talking about they're trying to buy ammo at the same time they're buying their gun, That's because it's damn frustrating if you go buy a gun and you pay for your gun and all of a sudden they tell you, oh, well, by the way, sorry, we don't have any ammo we can sell you for it. Good luck.
Yeah, that sounds like a bait and switch, man. We've seen that happen locally, haven't we?
Well, that's what I'm seeing. So everybody's like, oh, wow, there's a lot of 9mm guns in stock. Like, well, yeah, because they don't have ammo for
no
them.
ammo. They don't have anything. There's zero. Now,
they're out of 40 calibers. So
yeah. Well, if you want 44 mag or 10mm, that's the way to go. We can fix the ammo problem right now. Real quick, we got a comment on the YouTube side here. What is it? Manny Plus Lux says, "Why don't you guys just buy ammo online?" Oh, we do. And we have. I did a lot of that before all this stuff went down. I used to buy cases of 1,000 all the time when I could get, a case of 1,000 rounds of 115 grain brass 9mm for $200 delivered. Remember the good old days, guys, back in January, February?
Yes, buy ammo online. My answer, California.
So I've got a take on this. All right. The guys that don't buy ammo online don't buy anything online because they've got to use a credit card and they're so anti-credit card. Oh, well, that's your choice. It's also your loss. You are the one putting your arm behind your back by doing that. Here's the thing. I've had people be critical of me making firearm or ammunition or reloading or whatever type 2A type purchases with my credit cards in the past because, I got to pay interest. Well, I know how to manage my credit. So the amount of interest I pay is nominal. Yeah, it's nominal. But the thing is, almost every single purchase I've ever made with a credit card, whether it's online or at a store, has been something that later on I can look and go, well, it doesn't even matter if I paid a ton of money in interest. This thing has gone up $1,000. This thing is unavailable. This thing is no longer manufactured. So if the credit card lets me make that purchase right there on the spot because I don't have enough cash in the bank or I don't have enough cash in my wallet, I don't feel that that's a loss, even if I pay some interest on it, because who's laughing now? Almost all the ammunition I have, whether I bought it at a store or online, I paid with credit. I manage my credit. Some of you guys don't know how to manage your credit, and if that's, I get it, But I've heard other BS reasons not to have it. But when it's cheap, when there's a sale, when you're shopping Black Friday and you go over to the hunting department and they've got cases of ammo dirt cheap, and you throw one of those on with it, if there's a shortage 2 years later, you'll be going, dang, I'm glad I bought this, but people don't look at it like that. So that's some of my advice for when the smoke clears. People want advice for fix it now. And my advice is for when the smoke clears, this is how you fix it later. And I don't think people want to hear that. They don't want to change their habits. They don't want to be open-minded. They don't want to think ahead. They just want to be able to go down to their store on the way to the range, pick up the ammo they need. Another thing too is some people need 1,000 rounds for one day at the range. Dang, dude, really? I mean, I'm not saying you don't have the right to do that. You want to throw 1,000, bullets down range. That's your right. You should be able to do that. But if you ration what you do, don't go to the range every week. Oh, if I don't go to the range every week, I'll forget how to shoot a gun. Really? Come on.
Hey, guys, Norman's joining us. Norman, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
All right. Hey, so you want to chime in on this whole ammunition discussion that we're having? We're kind of going all different ways with it. But we're just trying to throw as many options out there. Go ahead, Norman.
I'm actually so desperate. I'm thinking about doing the 4.6 by 30 round because that's plentiful. And so is like 357 SIG. So I've seen a lot of PCCs out there, 9mm, 40, 45, what have you, but I've never seen a 357 SIG yet. That'd be pretty badass with a 357 Magnum stop and power and a little PCC. You guys still there?
Yeah, it's kind of breaking up just a little bit, but oh no, you're talking about actually making a firearm that runs the 4.6 round. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And that's what is it, 4x6 by 24? Is that what that actual chambering is? Is that it's the MP7 round, right? HKP7.
Yeah, 4.6 by 30 is similar to the FN57.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We actually looked up the price on it, and the prices of it are really not that bad. I think it's actually cheaper than 5.7 ammo. I think we were seeing 30 cents a round or something like that because it's made by either Cellular and Below or PPU makes it, if I'm not mistaken. What's it again? It's a 4.6 by what?
30.
So yeah, if you wanted to if you could get a now, are you just talking about like an upper for an AR? You'd make an upper chambered in that, or what?
Yeah, because it uses the same 40 cal Glock mags, any kind of 40 cal mags.
So you'd have to have a magwell adapter for an AR-15 lower that can take 40 cal mags, right? Are there adapters out there for you could get to run on your lower? Would you have to get a unique lower just for that mag, or what would happen if you bought the upper?
Well, I was just gonna outsource it, farm it out to CMMG, and say, hey, you guys are already doing 5.7s. You're already doing every other caliber. Here, do a 4.6, and you'll be my exclusive mag dealer.
Well, dude, that'd be sweet. Because okay, so it is more. Okay, so 4.6 is $23.95 for a box of 50 Fiocchi. But that's on par with 5.7. 5.7's either the same price or more. I think 5.7 is almost double that, isn't it? How much does the box of 5.7 cost these days?
Like $30, $32.
Okay. So, and here's the idea with this. Since we're talking ammo, consider investing in a different caliber where you can find the ammo locally. 10 millimeter at our neck of the woods is typically in stock. 44 mag is usually there. 357 Magnum. You're going to pay more, but the ammo's there if you want to practice and you want to have a gun in that caliber. So consider maybe going 5.7, because I'm always seeing 5.7 on the shelves of my local mom and pop.
Have you guys heard of Corbin?
Yeah. Corbin?
Yep.
You mean Corbin Ammunition or what?
No, Corbin. Corbin.
Okay,
the place in Kentucky where KFC's from?
That's a good one. But no, these guys basically, so they use 22 empty shells for jackets for 223, and then also they got this special little swage. It takes, I believe, 357 Magnum. No, my bad. 5.7, empty 5.7. You swage them, you smash them in this die, and it makes 357, 38, and 9 mil projectiles. Brass, lead free.
Dude, that's pretty intense, man. That is sweet.
Instead of buying projectiles in a shortage, dude, just smash some fucking shells. Smash some little 5.7s and then make them 30 cal projectiles for your 30 carbine, your 9, your 38, or 357 or anything. That's kind of cool how you're using brass, somebody's garbage, and making lead-free projectiles.
And you guys got to worry about that in California, right? I mean, that's something that you have to know, that your local consumption and.
Yeah, and then also if you're in the Condor area, they might take your equipment, your truck, and your everything, like your tool, everything, because you just introduced lead into a lead-free zone.
Oh my God, that's insane, dude. I couldn't imagine having to live in that kind of
under
those regulations and stuff. I mean, I don't even know where you'd begin, especially if you're a business owner. That's got to be frustrating, man.
Yep.
I did see a cool comment earlier. Let's see, who was that? One person had mentioned, if you're looking for lead and you want to cast your own bullets, first of all, you guys should get over to the Reloaders Network. That's a really cool website. Go sign up and get your username and password for that. They're a great place for resources. If you're going to get into reloading, that's a wonderful place to go. Also get yourself a good reloading manual. We've talked about this before. If you're deciding to get into reloading, be patient with finding some of those components, because a lot of stuff is just sold out everywhere. Somebody had mentioned going to a parts yard. If you got one of those pull your own scrap yards for cars, go pop the lead weights off the wheels. They've got an entire box full of wheels. If they'll let you buy the lead, you can buy the lead weights off, and you could have a bucket of those things in no time.
Just be really careful with that.
Uh-huh.
A lot of those wheel weights nowadays are actually made of zinc.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's where if you get too much, if you get too many of them mixed in, it can, zinc melts at a different, will melt in a lead pot, but it doesn't melt sufficiently to flow properly, and can actually clog up a lead pot.
Is there any way
higher heat for zinc? Takes a lot higher heat for zinc, and I mentioned that earlier, Travis.
Yeah. Is there any kind of
just don't flux it up. Use flux.
No, there you go. Is there any kind of in the field chemical swipe or wiper test you could do to see if the lead weight has zinc in it? Is there any kind of anything you put a drop of something on there and it changes colors, or anything you guys know of that you could use?
No. Basically, they usually will have a stamp on the weight itself, and it will include a Z. The iron weights will have the FE on it.
Oh yeah, because the chemical.
And I usually just take a knife and scratch them. If they scratch easy, then it's lead.
So, I mean, casting your own bullets, I'm seeing a ton of that right now, especially, like I said, over in Reloaders Network. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram, Awesome Chano Chico-wise. He does some really cool casting. Yep. And, man, he makes some fantastic-looking bullets, and I don't know if you can buy them from him or not. But, if it's something, if you really want to get into it, and depending on how bad things go, because it's either going to get better or worse, or it's not going to change between now and election time. And post-election time, man, we might be cracking open car batteries looking for lead because we can't get anything
Can't
anymore.
use it.
We're melting down old band instruments we buy at Goodwill for brass to make our own cases. You know, I mean, it could get that friggin' bad. Let's hope not. But yeah, casting bullets is one of those things that I mean, I know nothing about it other than what I've seen in, you know, on TV and you know, well, not on TV, like watching videos on it and stuff. I really haven't looked into the art and the science behind it, but you can make some fantastic ammunition. What Crazy Scotsman's got a fantastic channel. You check him out too. I think he's part of the Reloaders Network also. So get over there and sign up for it. I mean, I like to think that things are going to get better. And I mean, the fact that we're starting to see stuff on the shelves now in most places, from what you guys are saying, at least we know there's ammo out there and you can get it if you want it.
Yeah, you can't use that lead out of the batteries, though.
No, you can't?
No.
Okay.
No, that stuff is contaminated badly, and it's very dangerous to.
I would never say do that. Let's not crack open car batteries. I'm just metaphorically speaking. If it gets that bad, we got issues that we got to go that route. So
I got a question about the projectiles.
Do it.
You think this shortage has affected the guys who do air guns with their projectiles, or no?
Are they running the same bullets that they use for firearms? I know there's 50 caliber air guns that you can buy.
Like the Benjamin 357 and all that crap. Like I'm pretty sure
I bet you they're seeing some price increases and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because if reloading components are, I mean, you can go online and look around and see if you can find the components. That's a good question, man. I'm going to say yes. I mean, probably price wise and stuff.
I got another question. If you guys, all right, so I had a wild ass idea, right? In the United States, Montana, everybody knows Montana has the best whatever laws. And so I was thinking they probably have stores in Montana that still have ammo or badass tools or whatever. Because, I mean, to them, it's always been there available to them. So called a couple of shops and holy shit, yeah, they're stocked with ammo and everything. And they're basically unaffected. And I was like, holy smokes.
Oh, yeah. So, even in places like here in Nebraska where we're like less than 2 million people in the state. I mean, you can still, for the most part, if you look around, there's stuff available because we're so population thin that, and plus a lot of people have already had guns and ammo for so long. Maybe we don't have that constant consumption that you find in other places. And we have less new gun owners than a lot of other states. So Defense Dad, do you have a question real quick you wanted to get out there? I can't remember. Did you have your hand up?
Well, I had it was back to the ordering online deal because it was covered on like a Night Strike show the last 2 nights in a row, and not to restate that, but yeah, you can find it online. But for some people, the cost of it is just by the time you add the shipping and then you're paying, because they're limited to 2 or 4 boxes in some places. So even for new owners, that can be a little bit cost prohibitive for them. But yes, you can still find it.
Going back to what Squib was saying, well, hold on a sec. What Squib was saying about the credit card purchases, if you're 25% interest on your credit card and you pay 25% interest on that box of ammo that you bought, that's still cheaper than the 50% price you're going to pay for a shipping cost if you buy a box of ammo online and you just buy 1 box. Yep. So the credit card thing, it's still going to be cheaper in the end, especially if you can pay that ammo off within 30 days. You're not paying the interest. You're buying it locally. You already have it. Buy the ammo online if you need it. If you want it, please do go get it. But understand that, you might be looking, I've paid as much as $15, $17 for shipping on 2 boxes of ammo because I needed it. I couldn't get it, and I wanted it for like a range test. So
yeah, I'm by all means not saying don't buy it online, but
expect to pay for shipping, Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Calvaris, go ahead, man.
I was going to thinking about with the online, that's for especially for people that are new to it and haven't been dealt with it before. Try to avoid as much as possible buying anything from Cheaper Than Dirt, because that box of 50 rounds of 9mm that Travis is paying $15 for, and it used to be $9. They're selling over there for $50, at Cheaper Than Dirt at times. So just try to avoid those, some of those price gouges. I mean, if it's all you can get, then it's better than not having anything. But just look at other places first.
Yeah, Cheaper Than Dirt will get you 2 because they have multiple warehouses. So if you place a big order, it's going to come out of 5 different locations. They're going to charge you 5 times the shipping. If we don't support the people that do the price gouging and all the underhanded stuff, they will go away. If you go to the gun show and somebody's selling 9mm for 60 cents a round, Patrick, and you buy the ammo because you're desperate, you just enabled them, and they're going to come back next week and sell it again for 60 cents a round. Another thing, too, is these stores. I'm okay with the store saying 1 box per person per day. I'm okay with that. If you've got a store that doesn't have a limit, or they've got some other limits that are maybe, 3 boxes, 5 boxes, whatnot, the shelves are going to be cleaned out. People want to say that, we're doing it to ourselves. We're our own worst enemy. But these stores, now they have a right to do that. They have a right to say, hey, if you want to buy the whole store, buy the whole store. We're a capitalist environment. I'm not saying it should be a law, but I'm saying if you want to take care of all your customers, you need to have a 1 box limit. And if a customer wants to whine, then you kindly ask them to leave, because somebody else will take their box. But that's if these stores would quit doing stuff like letting somebody go buy, or having the employees sitting on the dock buying the whole thing. That's what happened with 22. The people at Walmart were the disgruntled Walmart employees making minimum wage were buying it before it hit the shelves, taking it home, and then putting it online and selling it, or taking it to the gun shows and selling it for ridiculous prices. And people paid it. If they showed up at the gun show with all this ammo and nobody bought it, they'd be like, I ain't doing this again. But it's a difficult thing to ask from entrepreneurs and people who are desperate because they failed to be prepared.
Now look at that example of the toilet paper and the paper towels when this stuff first hit. That's crazy.
And then there's a few calibers that just kind of leave me just dumbfounded as to why we can't find them. I mean, locally, Defense Dad 3030, not a problem. I go on AmmoSeek, there is no 3030 for sale. Either leopard guns have gotten super popular, or people are stocking up on whatever ammo they can find, which now the 3030 is now the hot new round, or we are kind of transitioning into the fall deer season, and then 3030 is a very popular round. So I think we're going to be battling for us the local consumption, because I could find at Walmart, I could find 7 or 8 different grades or weights of 3030 and 4 or 5 different brands. But the last 2 times I've gone up there, they've been basically cleaned out of core locked and federal.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We've been able to find it since we just got our guns. But, yeah, it's getting to be deer hunting season, so people are buying it.
Yeah. It's also something you run into. Oh, man, just crazy stuff. So, Storm and Norman, do you have, just as kind of little plug for yourself, do you have any ammo that people can buy from you? Are you shipping or online? If they're interested in buying ammo from you, can they give you a call?
Yeah, I got it. I've been going through JG sales, but I'm gonna start touching base with Minuteman Ammo, and
okay.
we're gonna see if we can get some batteries out on the streets.
Oh, cool, man! All right, so just kind of sit tight on that. You keep me updated. We'll let people know, all right?
Yeah, I got about 1,000 rounds of 9 right now.
Okay. And then one thing you want to watch out for, guys. I mean, and I'm looking over on Gunbroker, and it's crazy. I'm seeing people are bidding on 1,000 rounds of 915 grain, and some of these bids are already up to $600 for a case of 1,000. Especially you guys that are new gun owners. When you do these searches for stuff, you just type in 9mm ammo for sale, and you look around, and one of the first things that pops up is ammo's for sale on Gunbroker. You go over there, and they're charging $50 for a box of 9. You're like, ooh, they got 9 in stock. We just don't want to see anybody get taken advantage of and kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth as a new gun owner, because you don't have to pay those prices if you look around quite a bit. You should be in pretty good shape. And again, reloading, to get back to the idea of that, consider getting into it, but also understand that it's going to be a big investment up front, especially now. Prices on things could be a little bit higher than they were 3 or 4 months ago. But if you do get into reloading, we're not, and the idea, you will at some point break even and start to save money as time goes on, sort of. Okay, some people might say, well, you shoot more if you reload. Just a price per round. The more you do, obviously, the more you're going to start saving, and the more your initial investment starts to pay for itself. But the idea for me with reloading and saving money is, reloading more expensive calibers, I can do it at home for, say, half the price or a third of the price of buying it at the store. So if you are going to get into reloading, again, you definitely need to educate yourself. There's a lot of places you can go. We had mentioned the Reloaders Network. Get yourself a good manual. Watch our Caliber Corner episodes on reloading. There's great channels on YouTube. It's not the most difficult thing in the world, but again, we want you all to do it the right way. If you just, like I said, just looking at how many people are getting into reloading now, which is a good thing. I mean, either it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. They're going to stick with it, and we're going to have a nice spike in a new generation of reloaders that are going to keep that practice going. Or we're going to start to, we're going to see a bunch of used stuff showing up.
I'm hoping for that used
after the election. It's going to be a flood of just guns and stuff that people are like, what's that, Squib?
I'll be looking out for the used press for sale. The unopened, not used press.
Open box, unused, just dusty presses for sale. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's probably going to happen.
Squib has it right. Because I think a lot of these youngsters, everything's on their smartphones. You know, they want it now. They want it now. They want it now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna tell the kid, hey, you're gonna have to pull this lever 4 times, kid, for every battery you pull out for your tool. He's gonna be like, no, F that. It's too much work. And yeah,
there's no app that'll do it for me.
Yeah, they'll be like, where's the on?
Where's the quick start instructions? There are no quick start instructions to loading 9. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got that little hand loader, maybe, right?
He'll unload his Dylan for like $50. Watch those kids. They I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but
no, that's pretty much it, Norman. I'm just saying from experience. Just trying to get kids to read the instructions on anything is like a chore. It's like pulling teeth, dude. I mean, now somebody who's really dedicated into it, they got a family of Pro 2A family, a Pro Firearm family. The generational passing on of the reloading process is going to happen, but for the most part, it'd be kind of interesting to see what goes down. So,
I don't have any children, so I'm very willing to pass on my knowledge, and I've got a ton of it.
Yeah, you'll get paid for that, man. You should get compensated for your knowledge. Honestly, because if you're an OG and you've been doing it a while, I'd rather take a class from you than some stupid ass kid on YouTube. There
you go. Don't watch Travis P11 videos. I haven't done any actual reloading videos themselves, but I'm going to do some on shot shells. Maybe I'll make a video up on how to reload 12 gauge this fall when it cools down a little bit, and I can sit out in the garage and enjoy it. So
there you go. Yeah, I've been reloading since 1970. Casting bullets since 1983, so I got a day or two invested.
Seeing if we have any, but there's people complaining about not being able to find primers. You just got to be persistent. It takes a lot of effort on your part, especially now if you want to go out and get that stuff. What else do we have here? See, not worried about projectiles at this point. It's primers and powder more. So primer, hint, small pistol primers. Yeah, and again, it depends on where you're at, because as we mentioned today, I mean, there's a lot of places out there that have this stuff in stock too. It just happens to.
I gotta buy more stuff and make another Smart Aleck video
about how nothing's out there.
I know about how stuff is out there. It's just if you only go to your local mom and pop, or you don't buy online, or you don't go shopping, say when you're traveling for work or for pleasure. If you don't, I mean, there's so many different ways I've acquired my reload supplies without having to break the bank, or if you only pay cash, or if you, I think people are limiting themselves, or they want convenience. And it's like, look, sometimes things take work, guys, but they also, like you were saying, it's a long game. Reloading is absolutely a long game. So I think I put in my video, if you want to buy everything in one kit on Friday and Saturday morning be at the range shooting 9mm, you're lying to yourself.
Comments coming in on the YouTube side. School, that's a good point, dude. Let's see here. Where's that comment at? Person said 2 years ago people were laughing at me for buying 357 SIG. Who's laughing now? Yeah, because I mean, for a long time that was about the only thing I could find on the stuff was 357 SIG and 10mm. So I've always been a proponent of having a couple different pistols and a couple different calibers for times like this, where that might be the only caliber you can find. I mean, look at my Makarov. I can buy 9mm Makarov all day now. I mean, I got no problems with that. In fact, when I bought it, the guy at the gun store said, this is 9mm Makarov, not 9mm Luger. I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, I've got a Mac pistol at home for it. So I get 9mm Makarov for $12 a box, which isn't great, but at least I can buy it if I want to.
Who's laughing now? I'm laughing because it's 357 SIG, but that is another great point. You've got the people who have sold a whole bunch of their guns to consolidate down to 2 calibers. And they go, look at, I'm saving money, I'm saving space, I'm doing all this and now the 2 calibers that they have are unavailable or limited or the price has gone up.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of a variety of guns, you're going to have a situation where if something dries up, you can always shoot something else. It also helps too if you bring a new shooter to the range. If you've got a variety of guns, you might be able to find the gun that maybe fits them a little bit better. So their first shooting experience is a lot better than if you give them something they're uncomfortable with. It's too heavy. It kicks too hard. It's too difficult to operate, whatever it is. There are lots of good reasons to have a variety of guns. I understand some people want to consolidate, especially if they get older or something like that. But you are limiting yourself. The industry is not limiting you. The government's not limiting you. The retailers aren't limiting you. You are limiting you. And this is what happens. It can backfire. It sounded like a great idea 2 years ago, but now not so much.
Now we're considering getting that 38 Super. Now Storm and Norman posted a pretty good question over there. 38 Super may be making a comeback because it's one of the few. It seems like there's these little cycles where you're seeing it in stock for the longest time and then it's gone. And then there's the next caliber that's in stock and it's gone. That's what I was seeing with 40 and 45 initially. And like I said, 10 millimeter before. So yeah, 38 Super may have a renaissance because it's readily available. My 9 millimeter Makarov is out there. The biggest disappointment for me with ammo prices right now is 300 Blackout. So I bought 100 rounds of the Barnall steel case, 300 Blackout a couple months ago. I think I paid $11 a box, $12 a box. Now with shipping, I paid more, but had I bought more, I would have saved money. 300 Blackout for me locally, I was paying about $1 a round, regardless of what I was buying. 300 AAC. And the Barnall is now selling for $1 a round. So it's like the steel case stuff that the whole reason for Barnall bringing that in was so that people could get 300 Blackout at a lower cost. That just looking at the prices online, that's now selling for the same price I was paying for brass just, a couple months before it. And heck, now, like I said, and in the era of the $20 box of 5.56, God, a guy might as well just go 300 Blackout if it's going to be like that, if you're going to be paying the same prices. Let's see here. 5 millimeter rimfire from Aguila. 5 millimeter rimfire. Man, there's so many calibers out there I just don't know about. Here's a funny comment. Jason Stewart says, you can melt a High Point 9 for casting bullets. No, Jason, that High Point will now get you a case of 9 millimeters. So trade up, man. The High Points are going for over $200 now too. Although I think that High Point is now getting some firearms back into production and getting them back out there in the vendors at this point. So we're going to start seeing more of those. I know the High Point Cannon Gen 2 is going to be coming out here eventually. I get emails from High Point and they talk about that, how they're still working on it and trying to get it in production. So that'll be a big seller. The PSA Dagger is going to be a big seller. It already is gone. That's going to, those will be selling like hotcakes because everybody wants a $300 9. Although there's still lots of great alternatives that are still available out there, but that's talk for another time. So go ahead, Squib.
I was going to say something else too. There's some misnomers out there about the ammunition companies not doing their part. And I've been critical of them because I'm in manufacturing. Some of the things that they do, their bean counters are running the show. The executives are running the show. And I've said it before. If you put a couple automotive guys in an ammunition factory, not only would they turn a profit they've never seen before, but everybody would have plenty of ammo. But they don't run like an automotive because they make pennies on every box of ammo they sell. They don't make tens of thousands of dollars on every car they sell. We have contracts with the automotive manufacturers. If we don't deliver parts, they will shut us down. They will put us on the blacklist and they will remove the tooling from our plant. We've got a machine that we paid $1 million for that can't make parts. So like this weekend, they're running overtime, all 3 shifts just to run one machine or 2 machines to make 2 parts because we have contracts. The firearms manufacturers don't have a contract with you or I. They might have a contract with some retailers to get pricing and whatnot. But I'm not saying they don't care about the end user, but we don't have a way to, say we'll pull your tooling out of your factory and give it to the competition if you don't deliver on time and for the price we want. So they do have a little bit of a different setup than other manufacturing. But the thing is, though, there are ways that they can improve their manufacturing. I got an email from Nosler. They're hiring people. Now, they're in Oregon. I'm not moving to Oregon. And before anybody says anything, I realize Oregon is not all Portland. It's just like saying Michigan is all Detroit. Okay. So I get it. They're actually on the good side of the mountains, but I'm still not moving to Oregon. But I did consider it, like I'll get out of plastics and go back in the metals and go work at an ammo plant. That'd be great. If they were in another state, maybe a little bit further south, I might consider relocating to go work there. But the simple fact that they're sending out emails saying we're hiring means that they're trying to run 3 shifts or they're trying to, have their people on overtime and stuff like that. In some states, they might have had restrictions where they were closing them down as non-essential, or they got the employees pulling the we've got a couple employees that keep claiming they have COVID and they don't. It's because they don't want to work. Even though the unemployment is run out, they still don't want to work. So I'm sure these and all manufacturing all over, retail, all kinds of different companies are having trouble finding employees. It's not even getting good employees. It's just a body in all fields. So I'm sure the ammo plants have the same thing. They have work shortages. And then when you take the people who do show up to work and you work them 15 hours a day, they get burned out and then they either quit or they play sick. So we're chasing our tail with manufacturing and other things like that in America. That's great that there's a pent up demand and it's keeping people working. Americans are making money, that sort of thing. But just understand that they've got some things that they've got to overcome, and it's just a matter of time. I've heard rumors about there's shortages of this and shortages of that, and yeah, sure, okay, there's shortages of primers and stuff like that, and there's shortages of components to make powder and stuff, but there's still plenty of stuff out there. They've just got to get caught up, and if they're filling back orders before this thing happened, they're still working on that. Just imagine how long it's going to take them to fill everything that's being ordered right now. So you've just got to give them time and be patient. Now, you might say, well, why don't they just build another factory? Because if you've gone through these shortages before, you've seen that we panic buy, we pay through the nose for all this stuff, and then the election happens, or the legislation doesn't get passed, or the next year rolls around, and then demand drops. It just plummets, and prices go down, availability goes up. And if they just built a brand new $40 million plant and 6 months later, demand goes down, they're sitting on a $40 million building that they're paying taxes on, that they've got a whole bunch of employees, they've got to lay off. So for them, it's not profitable for them to constantly build every time there's demand. In the automotive industry, that's different. Spending $40 million to build a new plant because you've got a contract, that's nothing. You'll make the money back in no time. Ammunition, it's a little bit different. You might go, but the demand. I get it. Now, if there was one manufacturer of ammunition who decided to go ahead and invest in that, and they were able to flood the market with their product, they would probably recoup their investment, and they would probably be able to hold on to that factory and keep that factory running and say, but it's the fear. You've got the bean counters and all the other people that are saying, don't do this. We're going to lose money on it. So the entrepreneurial spirit will hopefully at some point, some startup or some big company will do that. And they're going to get market share, and they're going to put their competition out of business. But it's from a business standpoint, it's a fear to get over that hump, to take that risk, because you could eat it.
Yeah. We do hear a lot about the companies adding like a third shift or adding employees to help with increasing demand and stuff. I mean, these factories are running, they're putting stuff out, but again, we've got, you keep seeing this every time you go visit every website, unprecedented consumption. And so people just got to be patient. It's just kind of how it is right now. And just remember, the good old days of the cheap guns and ammo are going to be behind us for a while, if not a much longer time period. But I like to think things will get a little bit better. I'm kind of really watching prices, especially like on pistols and ammo, to see if stuff's maybe tapering off a little bit. But again, before the election, I just don't think it's going to change a whole lot. Just to kind of get this out there, if you don't have basic supplies for yourself, make sure you've got an adequate supply of the things you need to sustain yourself, just in case we have anything pop up before the election, or if there's you start to see some hoarding going on again, because people are starting to get edgy and scared because of what they're hearing in the media about the election and what could happen. Just make sure you've got adequate supplies, everything across the board to take care of you and your family, and you're going to be set. I've noticed like the little 30-day meal kits are starting to go down in price too. This has nothing to do with ammunition, but just like in general, because like I said, it was a weird feeling when I went to my local Costco and they were completely sold out of bottled water, toilet paper, and paper towels, and every kind of cleaner on the planet you could buy. I mean, it was an empty wall. So that's kind of an interesting feeling when you realize this kind of thing can't happen. So any other thoughts on ammunition, guys? What do you think? Are we screwed or not? I don't think so. I think we're good. I think
I was just going to say, here's how we solve it. Squib's willing to relocate. He's in manufacturing. So Squib just moved to Nebraska and worked for Hornaday.
No, because you're too cold. No. I get the same temperature I get in Michigan. I've already looked. Nebraska has a lot of nice things. I could get a nicer house, a bigger house for less money, and have a lot more open land to shoot. You guys got hunting. You got manufacturing. You got all kinds of things that I like. But you're the same temperature. I want something warmer.
But Squib, you'd be working for Hornady. You're never going to want to go home.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. If I went in there, they would not like me, because I'd be going out going, you're doing that wrong. You're doing that wrong. Do you guys want to make money or not?
Maybe they do it right, Squib. Maybe that's it.
No, it's not about doing it right. It's about, do you want to be a big company? Do you want to be a powerhouse? They're big, but they're not Ford big. Okay.
They probably
are. No. They have two factories.
Product in the United States, Squib. That's all I'm going to say.
But no, I like Hornet. Don't get me wrong. But they can't be Ford big because they don't make Ford profits. Somebody out there in the chat was complaining about people buying up components and setting on them. There's nothing wrong with that. I've got components I bought 4 years ago. I got ammunition I bought 20 years ago. Are you going to complain that I'm sitting on it? I can't help that. You failed to be prepared. It is not my problem or my fault that you failed to be prepared. I'm prepared. You can learn. You can learn from this, or you can just sit there and whine and complain.
I like how we're just scorning the new gun owners. We're just like, I don't want to hang out with these guys. They're brutal. It's like, we told you to buy it. We told you to go get that $300 AR, but you wouldn't listen. We told you. It's just kind of funny to laugh back at. It's like, man, of course, I'm sitting here thinking, God, why didn't I buy an extra 5,000 rounds when I had a chance? Or why didn't I buy, those uppers when they were $199?
Yeah.
Now they're $398. God, I'm kicking myself,
Hindsight's 2020.
Oh,
Just going to point out, I listened.
Yeah. When you were getting into a defense that was kind of pre-pandemic, right? So you were starting to stock up on a little bit here and there, and you're getting yourself.
Yeah, but I listened to the advice that everybody gave me, and now I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Hey, Foos, remember how I was getting ripped because I bought that ammo? Or not, Squib, remember how I bought the ammo from Foos and people were ripping into me because I paid $189 for a case of 1,000 rounds of 9mm?
Yeah.
You can get it for $167 from this plate. Well, good for you. Go get it. Now I'm just like,
That's what I mean about the whole credit card thing.
Let's go. What's that?
That's what I mean about the whole credit card thing. You paid interest. I paid like $5 in interest. Ammo has doubled, tripled, quadrupled in price. Do you think that $5 really means anything? It's the same thing with reloading. Somebody might be like, oh, well, reloading costs all this money, but I can reload all the ammo. I'm setting on, I'm potentially thousands and thousands of rounds in like 15 different calibers for my reloading stuff. So even if you want to sit there and nitpick and go, well, you paid this much for the press, and you paid this much for the scale, and you paid this much for bullets and primer, and dude, I'm not even worried about ammo right now. I went out and shot my Garand, and all of it was reloads except what I let somebody shoot it. I gave them some factory ammo to shoot, but all of it was reloaded. And the people next to me were shooting 30-06. So guess whose brass I took home in addition to mine? So I can actually make probably double or triple what I took to the range with the components, and I got more bullets on the way. And it's just not a thing. But if reloading isn't for you, it isn't for you. I'm not saying that's the only solution. That's what you absolutely have to do. For some people, it just isn't for them.
Yeah. But
once again, they're limiting themselves. It's not my problem. I got tons of ammo and you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just, you got to be creative, crafty, and it takes a little bit of effort. So especially in the era of instant gratification, if people can't get it, they don't want it, So, oh man, see if we have any comments coming in on the YouTube side. I'm not trying to. And again, I'm sorry for coming off as being cocky, but it's one of those times I can sit back and say, like an old fart, I told you so.
Nice.
Listen to your elders. Nice. Listen to your elders, Oh, man.
My great-grandfather used to tell me, I told you so, Sonny. You should have listened to me.
Now that I'm getting older and finally listening to my parents, they're right. I'm sorry, but it's true. Oh, man. So anyway, I don't know. I kind of feel like we've had a good discussion on this topic when it comes to ammo. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. We're going to get back to the $10 box of 9mm, and we're going to look back on 2020. Actually, we're not, because 2020 needs to be erased from the history books. I've never been a proponent of changing history, but I think this is one year that we can forget.
Yeah, move on.
Why don't we just have like a little 5-minute video like they do on the Oscars of all the great people we lost this year, and then that was 2020.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm hoping for so much better next year. I am just
this
I'm
year
trying to be optimistic.
This year is it's straight trash. I'm sorry. I guess it is kind of what you make of it, but it's just, oh my God, I don't even know where to go. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go and wrap this one up. I'm excited. I'm gonna go film a gun video here pretty soon. So I want to get that going. And I'm going to go have a second breakfast here. So let's go ahead and let the panel wrap things up and just get their plugs in for their channel. Make sure you guys check out everybody on the panel tonight, because they've got, today, whatever. They got a great panel going on. So let's go ahead and start off with Storm and Norman. Anything you want to say before we go, brother? You still holding down the fort out there in Cali?
Got a mute button on.
Yeah, he might. All right, we'll give him a second to come back there. Defense Dad, let's go on to you, buddy.
Well, as always, thanks for having me. We referred to it earlier, but I put a new video out this week. Is just the comparison of the Marlin versus the Henry. Got a few other things coming up here in the next few weeks, but check everybody else's channel out. Everybody's got great content, and shoot safe.
Right on, man. Right on. Cool. Single shot. Anything you would say before we go?
Well, thanks for the invite, my friend. I appreciate it. I always enjoy talking to you folks. I'm I'm going to get caught up on these videos. I know I've got a lot of stuff on my mind, and I've got to get the time to do it. Right now, the company is busy. Even the boss man is out there pulling loads and pulling them down to the yard for us to pick up when we get back. So it's been crazy, but things are looking up. And like we've been saying right along in the video here, things are looking up. Yeah, just be patient.
Yep.
And remember this, folks. America moves by truck.
Right on, man. Exactly. So get over when they're coming your way. Get over. All right. And let's see here. Squibby. Anything you want to say before we call it, man? Fun little chat today.
Yeah. So other than some of my Gunstreamer stuff not working out as well as I thought, I do have videos over there, and I'll be putting some more over there, different versions of my YouTube. I think right after this, I'm going to go ahead and publish the YouTube version of First Time to the Range, since the crazy stuff happened. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit long and it's a little bit goofy, and I'm sure somebody will put in the comment section that, oh, you didn't shoot tight groups, but whatever.
I get that all the time. I just say, well, I'm an old man and my hands aren't steady, so
no. You know what? Here, let me hand you this rifle. Go ahead. Oh, well, where's my optic? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Go, whatever.
Go make your own gun video. Go make your own gun video.
And I do. A lot of times you go and you look at these and it says this channel has no videos, and I encourage them to make their own videos. No, I don't want to do. Okay, then you're just a troll.
Yeah, anyhow. Well, maybe they're just trying to. Maybe it's just one of those tough love things where they're just trying to encourage us to maybe try to be a better shot next time, or maybe get a little more training, or go lift some weights.
Yeah,
it's because they care. It's because they care.
Yes, it is. So I'll go ahead and release it. And also about the whole, if I could only have one gun, where I tried to, move some traffic over. I guess I got a comment from some guy called Affordable something or other.
Affordable Armory?
Yeah, Affordable Armory.
Okay.
He started it.
Okay, well, that's just it. I thought Wield and Well Armed started it. This is why I don't do these challenges and VRs and stuff like that. I heard that Wield and Well Armed started it, so that's what I said in my videos. And apparently this guy started it, so I'm live on air right now. I'll go ahead and make a correction, on page 15, what nobody reads. And I just, in the future, guys, if you guys, tag me in these things, don't be surprised if I just don't respond. These aren't my sorts of things to do. And look, I got this thing all screwed up. I mean, I kind of had fun making the video and whatnot, but or the videos, and I made a bunch of other videos at the same time. I will be releasing some other videos that I filmed right around that, but yeah, guys, just the challenges. There's just way too much that can get mixed up in translation. It's like saying something and passing it around the room, and by the time it gets to the 30th person, it's something different. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to correct that.
Let me just say one thing here. On Never Enough Ammo, his guns chats on Wednesday nights. We've already had that 4 years ago. We had that topic where if you could only have one gun, what would it be? So, I mean, to say, well, this was my idea, I started, probably not. I mean, there's a good chance that somebody else already discussed it.
Well, this round was started by him. I was one of the first three that he called out, and then it just spiraled. But yeah, they've done that before. But this round was started by him.
Okay. Well, I checked out his channel this morning. I didn't have very much time. I watched one video. I scrolled up and down and looked at all of his videos, and there's very few videos in there that even interest me, but they might interest somebody else. So I kind of feel like I made the videos a little bit out of ignorance because I didn't have good information and I didn't do my research. So that's my failure. But on the other hand, it's just, if I could only have one gun. I mean, the premise alone says that you're okay with the government taking your guns, or with having such poor finances that you have to sell all your guns but one. So I didn't like it to begin with, but whatever. Thanks a lot, Outcast. Thanks a lot.
Part of it, real quick, just to let you know, and I agree with you part of it, but so I liked it because it got smaller channels viewing too, because he called out two big channels, then I'm a smaller channel, and so the premise was call out three, but
I know, but it's a cheap shot. I've seen those before. Same thing with the VRs. It's a cheap shot to just plug your crap, and I'm just not about that. So whatever.
Okay.
To me, I guess I enjoyed it as a creative challenge to really sit there and think. And it had nothing. I wasn't even thinking the whole government thing. I was just thinking, what if I only had one? What would be the most little prepper scenario, perfect all around firearm? What would be that one? I wasn't even thinking of that other side. I guess it just kind of challenged me to think, I don't even know what the hell. Oh, mine was the SR 1911. I was sitting there thinking, wasn't my Jimenez J822? That was my zombie gun. So yeah.
Yeah, and I cheated. I went 2 rounds with it, but it was fun. But yeah,
it's all right, dude. It's okay. It was just all for fun. I really enjoyed it. It really made me sit there. I had to really sit there and think. But I love this one. I mean, I wanted to say my Ruger American ranch rifle, chambered in 7.62 by 39. I love that thing. But like in terms of concealability, it's probably not going to happen. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a go to war gun. I mean, it'll take great shots, but still, Oh, man, good discussion today, guys. Thanks for being here, panel. All you viewers for watching, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe to everybody here on the channel. I'll keep dropping new videos for you as much as I can. There may be a week here or there at some point where, maybe I don't get a video out that week, but I'm a very busy person. I've started in a new location, so I'm even busier now than I was before. And unfortunately, with the sun setting sooner, I can't get out to the range before we're sunsetting now like at 7. It's limiting my time at the range. So I'm going to be spending more time out at the range on the weekends too. So otherwise, I think that's it. So make sure you guys tune in next week for Caliber Corner, where I don't know what the topic's going to be. We'll go back and see what the suggested topics are for my last giveaway video. And we'll see if there's something that people want to talk about. You guys can always chime in, maybe post a comment on this video. Let me know about a topic you'd like us to discuss. We can always come back and revisit something we've talked about before. We've covered a lot of different topics over the years. And just as a little side note, I think I'm celebrating the 5th or 6th anniversary of when I posted my first YouTube video, which was the little, I try to kind of do like a nut and fancy thing on the Ruger 9E. I guess I didn't have any shooting footage at that point because I didn't even have a camera for filming, but I did a little video where I talked about the different ammo and showed off my targets and talked about the Ruger 9E, which a lot of you might not even know about. It was the cheaper version of the SR9. And at the time, you could get it for like $100 less than an SR9. It was an awesome. I looked around and nobody had any videos up on it. So if you ever want something funny to see the original Travis P11 video, it's the Ruger 9E. I think I filmed it with my wife's iPod Touch, and I didn't realize you could actually turn. I thought if I filmed it sideways, the video was going to be sideways. So it's one of those up-down bar videos. But Chris Costa still does that on his channel. And actually that up-down thing's making a comeback now from Apple. So suddenly it's going to be cool to make your videos with the up-down filming, the vertical instead of horizontal. I don't know where the hell I'm even going with this. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We had a great chat today. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching Caliber Corner. Check it out. Make sure you share Caliber Corner with your friends and family. Try to keep it as family-friendly as we possibly can, the channel in general. So Buzz says, so did I miss it? Where's the ammo? Buzz, we talked about it, man. We went through the whole thing. Again, you just, like we said, you got to look local. You got to hit the gun stores. You got to look around online. You got to check out the gun shows. You got to check out Ammo Seek. You're not going to find the prices that you want, but the ammo is out there and it will be coming back. So we did discuss where the ammo is. We went through it. And if not, roll your own. So anyway, joining us on the YouTube side today, we had a little Patriot in the Dark going on, a little New York Outcast in the house, our agorizers out there. Patriot in the Dark says that was the 3rd video that I put up. The Ruger 9E, Patriot, was that yours? Is that the one you're talking about? Agorizer says I have a 9E. Squibblo's out there. Buzz is out there. Bob Sullivan's out there. DM Foz was joining us today. Gunpowder Beauty's in the house. Guy that comments. We got a lot of the usual suspects out there watching today. G Smithy in the house. Travis T's watching. Let's see. E-Code is joining in. Tread, I saw a little Scott P79 earlier. Probably still with us. Guns and Barbecue joining in too. Good crowd out there today. Uplift Mofo party playing in the house as usual. Do we have some tacos and French fries? I think I saw some tacos and French fries earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Drucifer's in the house. Jason Stewart. Manipulis Lux out there also. Guy that comments. Wheeled and Well Armed was watching today too. Anyway, so I think we're going to call it there. So Defense Dad's out there and over here. So panel, thank you guys for being here. SS Pond, thanks for supporting the channel. You guys have fun. Be safe. Take care. Storm and Norman, I know you just dropped out, buddy. We gave you a chance to chime in with the plugs.